Hey guys, this is Brennan's channel coming to you for fall baits. First, we're going to start out with square bills. Um, the square bills we like to use actually are mainly the 1.5s, but occasional 2.5s. First off, we got a Sexy Shad 2.5.
Kevin Van Dam series.
Kevin Van Dam series. We got another one in 1.5 and another one in the 1.0. We got the Chartreuse Blackback, the one that carried Kevin Van Dam's Angler of the Year. Then we have the same one, and then we have another one in Chartreuse Sexy Shad. This is another one. I can't remember the color of it, but
Crackleback.
This is Crackleback or something like that. This is another Sexy Shad. My friend has caught gar on it and stuff like that, so it looked like it's been through World War III.
That crawfish for maybe you could fish that in the fall or more the spring than the fall, but
all right.
You got your Bagley's Balsa B.
And then we got the Bagless Balsa.
Bagger. Okay. Bagley's Balsa.
We have an inside joke about the Bagley's Balsa B. We call it the Bagley's Balsa Weed. But alright, now we're gonna go to
spinnerbaits.
Deep spinnerbaits.
Spinnerbaits, wire baits.
Wire baits.
Rigs, buzz baits.
First off,
we got the War Eagle and a white and chartreuse. It's more of a stained water color, dirty water, muddy water. I don't know what that is. What do you call that?
That's the strike. It's a Strike King.
Yeah, well, it's a Strike King, but I don't know the color.
It's a Premier Plus.
Okay, but I don't know the color. So yeah, I don't know. It's like a gray kind of. I put some red in there. It's got like a blue, like maybe blue herring or something like that.
You think they can hear you on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we got the Burner. It's a chartreuse and blue.
That thing's been shredded up, guys. He's caught quite a few fish on it.
It's kind of beat up. That's in a Sexy Shad. That's a Strike King. Just a tandem combination. And that's Strike King and Fire Tiger for really stained water. Like I live next to a power plant lake that's really dirty. So I like to throw those darker colors.
And guys, most of these are tandem. An occasional single blade at night.
Double willow.
And that's another Burner. Double willow. It's in a smoking shad color.
We live pretty close to Table Rock and Bull Shoals, which is clear, deep water. You throw buzzbait sometimes.
Buzzbaits.
Top water bite.
The Booyah Clacker buzzbait by far is my favorite buzzbait. I say I've caught most of my fish with it.
You can go real slow too.
Yes.
What you can do is you can take a nail and a hammer and put little holes in them right there, and it'll spit out more water.
Alright. Also, you got the Viewman Chatterbait.
Chatterbait.
Alright, now a couple Alabama rigs.
That's the Yum with chompers, grubs, and some Kalin's grubs on it.
That you see in the previous video.
Might be a little bit early for them, but we're starting to catch fish on them this time of year. You got like the 3-arm with just the power bait, Berkley power bait swim baits. That's got the Zoom Super Flukes with spinnerbait blades on it.
Alright, now we're going to go to deep divers and lipless. Oh yeah, there's one more. That's the Man's Alabama rig. In Missouri, we can only have 3 hooks, so I have 2 spinnerbait blades on it. Guys, don't fish this on light line. Next, we're going to go to the lipless and deep diving crankbaits. First, we got a Yo-Zuri. It's a deep diving crank suspending jerk bait. And then, probably the best deep diver that I fish with. It's a cheap. It does break easily, but it's a Norman DD22. There's guys catching them right now, and they're putting a what are they putting on there?
Put a little 1/8 ounce weight. And I'll get it down almost 30 feet.
And they put it right on the front split ring right there where my finger is. What is that?
Little 1/8 ounce split ringer right there, and it'll make it sink, but it'll get down 30, 40 feet.
Yes.
If you let it sink, it'll get down 40.
There's another Norman. This is a Yo-Zuri lipless crankbait, and I don't know the color of it.
Chrome.
Now we're gonna go to Brennan's lipless and deep divers.
That chrome's really good on sunny days. It's really reflective in clear water. You got a Lucky Craft. I don't know the color. It's like a Hot Tiger or something like that. That's
Fire
a really
tiger.
big. That's not a fire. It's a hot tiger. You got a live target that's been beat to death. It doesn't even have eyes anymore. Your Strike King, the KVD Red Eyes. I like those quite a bit. Sexy shad and chartreuse. There's like a purple and gray or something like that. You got a spoon too. If you get into fish that are feeding right under your boat, you can drop that down and jig it right above the schools or the feeding fish.
Especially on a Table Rock Lake or Bull Shoals, guys. A grub will work too really well. Is that all you have on deep diving?